Hey, it's Alvin from Priceline Pharmacy, West Brunswick, and we're doing our weekly Ask Alvin live Q&A show. We're rocking it on Thursday, the 15th of February 2018. So this is our live weekly Q&A show. So what that means is if you're a new viewer / listener, you can jump on and ask me any wellness-related questions, pharmacy-related questions, and I will do my very best to answer them for you. So it's my intention with these videos that I try and provide as much value as I can to our audience, and just to give you some really cool tips and some really common tips to help you get better sooner. So we've been doing this now for, I think this is our 17th or 18th episode. If you're watching the replay, I always love it if you have a question, you can pop your question in the comment section below, and then next week I will answer it, and I'll also do my very best to reply to the comments as well with a brief answer. But I usually like to go in depth in this visual Q&A format. So just with this format, all the advice that I give here is general advice only. So please make sure you contact your healthcare practitioner to make sure that you get advice that's suitable and pertinent for you. And if I do happen to mention any dosages or medication, please always make sure that you use only as directed, and obviously contact your healthcare practitioner if your symptoms persist. Great, legal stuff out of the way. So just to reiterate, this is live, so you can come on, ask a question, I will read it, and I will answer it for you. So having said that, I've got questions that people have submitted over the course of the week, and I'm just going to work my way through them slowly. So the first question I've got here is from Giovanni, and Giovanni says that he's asking whether he can use two non-smoking patches at once. So yeah, Giovanni, you actually can. So if you're finding that you're coming from a background, or you previously have been smoking quite a few cigarettes or quite a few high-strength cigarettes, you can actually apply different patches, so two different types of patches depending on the strengths that you're using. And it's definitely best to speak to your doctor or your pharmacist about titrating or working out the right dose for you. So what that means is working out whether you need a step 1 or a step 3 or two step 1s even, or a step 2 and a step 3, or different combinations of patches. You can definitely apply that onto your skin to give you the desired result. So the other thing also, Giovanni, that you may or may not be aware, if you're not having success, if you feel like that craving feeling and you feel that you want to apply two patches on, you've also got the other options which you may or may not have seen, and they include using nicotine replacement therapy products like the spray. So the Nicorette spray, or one of the other sprays that contain nicotine. Whoops, not supposed to mention brands. I'm finding that useful with my clients and / patients, because that delivers nicotine directly under the tongue into your system. So that can be used in conjunction with the patches as a top-up, or just to give you that extra bit of confidence should you feel like that you need it. You can also use the gum as well, and the inhaler along with using the patches. So that's something that you can do, Giovanni, and I would recommend that you come in and speak to us, or go see your pharmacist. I'm not sure where you're from, you just got your name there. You know, they will definitely be able to work out for you your best course of action. So we can do that. Cool. Giovanni, hopefully that answers your question. Just to jump in there, I would also be checking that you're using some B vitamins, coenzyme Q10 and magnesium as well, just to help manage your cravings through this stressful period. So excellent. Thanks, Giovanni. Question answered. Done. The next one is from Julia. She is asking, I'm feeling tired all the time. What could it be? So Julia, my first response would be to understand your diet, to see what's going on there. And I would also be suggesting that we conduct a hemoglobin test on you. So getting a hemoglobin test just gives us an indication of your iron levels. So and it's just a way to rule out and to quickly diagnose and fix one of the ways that we can give you more energy And in some women, typically, iron is a really good way to start, because iron, which you lose in your monthly cycles, is really important at carrying oxygen around the body. And by supplementing with iron throughout the course of the month, you will getting more oxygen to your body, around into your cells, and you're going to feel a million times better. So the iron hemoglobin test that you can do in most pharmacies now is really easy. It's just a prick test of your finger, and we drop some blood onto the machine. It takes a couple of minutes, usually about 2 or 3 minutes, and that will give us an indication on what your hemoglobin levels are. You would benefit from supplementing with iron. So if it was low, we'd give you the iron supplements, and choosing an iron supplement, we would help you go through that depending on the medications that you're taking and the other medical conditions that you have. Your pharmacist will help you choose the right one for you. And we put you on iron supplementation typically for about 8 to 12 weeks, and then you'd come in and we would retest you. Hopefully in that time, usually within 4 weeks, you're feeling much, much better. If your iron levels were okay or within the normal range, then we'd look at some other things that's going on, Julia. So immediately I would be giving you some B vitamins, which is excellent for cellular activity. I would be suggesting some coenzyme Q10 or ubiquinone, because that's also really good at regulating the powerhouse of your cells and giving you more energy. So that's where I would be starting. And I would be going through your diet and having a look at what you're eating. I would be very suspicious of stuff like refined carbohydrates and sugars, the same old thing again, and we try and eliminate those and try and reset your body to get you back to a state where your cells are firing on all levels and you're feeling really amazing. And another quick hack for that is also to increase your consumption of vegetables, and especially the leafy greens and all the green veggies as well. So that's what I would be doing, Julia, as at the beginning. And then after that, if we're still not getting results with that, or if you are presenting with other symptoms, or you're taking a suite of medications, Julia, we'd definitely be recommending you go to the doctor and get a full blood panel test and see where that'll give us a better picture of where your body's at and what's going on there. So that would be my step approach for you, Julia, on why you might be feeling tired all the time, and one of the ways that we can quickly go around and fix it initially. Come in and see us. Cool. Hopefully that answers your question there, Julia. The next question we have is from Isabel. She's asking, how can I treat IBS in my kids? So irritable bowel syndrome, just want to quickly touch on it again. We have spoken about it for in a few episodes. Mainly I've spoken about it with adults because they've been asking, but the same symptoms apply to kids. So it's reflux, indigestion, diarrhea, cramping, constipation, really sore tummy, all those annoying things that can happen. So treating IBS for kids, we generally treat kids with IBS from the ages of 6 and up. Under 6 years of age, we definitely would recommend you go to a doctor. But 6 and over, I'd be happy, and most pharmacists would be happy to start some sort of treatment regime. How we treat it. So we'd go through the favourites again. I would definitely be putting your child on a course of probiotics. Super important for regulating the immune system in the gut. There are many probiotics available, many suitable for kids. Speak to your pharmacist. There are particular strains also that are useful for managing the symptoms that your child is experiencing. You can actually get some IBS preparations which may contain a variant of all of these things and these natural things such as glutamine, aloe vera, curcumin. They're the main ones that that are normally in IBS treatment protocols. So using something like that, which is very safe to use in kids, will help heal the gut, heal the lining of the esophagus, and also start to regulate the overactivity in the gut that might be causing these IBS type symptoms. Just got to be aware, some of these preparations contain pectin, and some kids are sensitive to pectin. So if you have a known sensitivity, hopefully your pharmacist will ask, because this is a common thing, then we'll stay away from that one, and we would use another preparation. Now, with kids, some of these IBS products, they don't taste the greatest, unfortunately, because of the curcumin that's in there. So it's got that turmeric yellow type taste. So, you know, we can mix things up on our own. So we can use aloe vera juice on its own. You can get glutamine in a powder on its own. You can get some really good forms of coumarin powder or the turmeric powder. So we can use those together and effectively treat the IBS symptoms that your child is experiencing. And of course, these are all just symptomatic fixes. We really need to get down to the cause, and that may be a combination of foods that your child is eating, some sensitivities. So there's that whole road that you will need to go down, and certainly your pharmacist can help you explore those options. And the main trick with that is how to track and measure and create a really easy to use food diary, which you can then present to your doctor as well. Yeah, and that can help with that. I've also had some success in referring kids on to naturopaths as well, and TCM practitioners or Chinese medicine practitioners as well. So yeah, it can be pretty disconcerting to see your child suffering from IBS, and you know, we can try everything that works. So, Isabel, hopefully that answers your question. One thing that does come to mind, there are a couple of liquid preparations that are based on homeopathic preparations. Some of them have been around for a while and been used overseas for a while. I've had some really good success with those. So that's another option that you can use as well. Come in and see us for, you know, for the particular brands for that one. Great. Next question I've got here is from John. John is asking, how does he get rid of his earwax? Okay, John. So just want to recap again. Earwax is actually produced by our ears to protect our ears. So it's a protective mechanism that lines the ear canal that will protect the outside, or protect the ear from all the nasty bugs on the outside. So it protects the tissues by trapping dirt and other naughty things that can be coming into the ear. So just to be aware that wax is your body's way of protecting itself. So that's one thing. So when you have, sometimes your body can produce too much wax in the ear, and that's when you get an excess of wax in your ear, and you know, you can get that dull sensation, a sense of fullness, that blockages. Sometimes it can cause tinnitus or ringing in the ear. So and this is quite common for some people. They have an overproduction of wax. So it's harmless. So the way to treat it, so typically we would use drops. So drops are really good. You can get wax drops, and they basically work by softening the wax, and they work by slowly dissolving the wax. And typically, you know, one of the best ones to use, you just do it at night time, 8 to 10 drops at night before you go to bed. Plug your ear with some cotton wool, and basically the wax drops, the medication that we will give you, dissolves the wax, and then it just runs out onto the cotton piece that you're wearing at night time. And most people may need to use a couple of treatments of that. A question that we get asked all the time is, a lot of people think that you can prevent earwax buildup by using cotton tips. So generally we avoid using cotton tips to clean the ear, to remove the earwax, because you just risk, if you have severe wax, you risk pushing more of the wax into the ear, going further down. So that's a real balancing act, is a real strategy or a real technique in using cotton tips. Generally, we recommend that you use just water and a towel just to wipe the area. You can get some saline sprays, which you can use just to effectively clean the ear. So they work really, really well. If you have used your drops for a couple of days and you're still feeling blocked, obviously we'd recommend you go to the doctor. And what a doctor can do, they can actually use particular devices that will reach further into the ear canal and suck out all the earwax. And typically they recommend that you use the wax drops first, just to soften it all up, and then you can get that swinched out basically. If you're one of those people that gets an abundance of earwax, you can actually use these earwax preparations a couple of times a week as just like a precaution thing, just to keep everything nice and smooth or fluid, nice and thin sort of, to keep using it every week. A lot of people also find using oils, olive oils and that kind of thing into their ear. I probably wouldn't recommend that. But I would be using some of the wax drops that you can get in the pharmacy a couple of times a week as a prevention, and definitely using some saline spray as well, just to keep everything moving. Yeah, cool. Hopefully, John, that answers your questions. So that's it. That's the questions done for today. So I would really appreciate it if you could like this video, share this video. That just helps get the word around, and it helps increase the visibility of this show, and it helps more people that it just helps get the word out there, and more people can benefit from the advice that we're giving here. If you have a question, please make sure that you pop them in the comment section below, and I will answer them. I will reply back via comment, and I will also answer it in next week's live Q&A show. So we'll be back next Thursday, live. We're usually on between 2 and 3, or 5 or 4 or something, but you'll see all the information on our Facebook page and social media. Great, all done. Thank you, and have a great week, and I'll speak to you all next week.